Growing Big with Steve Bartylla. Brought to you by Huntworth and these other fine sponsors.
I'll be brutally honest with you. If anything, these days there's a debate over whether or not scouting cam technology hasn't gone too far. We are so much better off than when I was a kid. Hey, kid, I'm talking 30 years old, those were using Trailmaster units. To this day, if you go on to trailmaster.com, there's a picture of an albino deer and a testimonial from yours truly. Okay, I'm telling you, these, and for the time, those Trailmaster units were awesome. But man, you couldn't pay me enough to go back to using those today. Between the cell cameras and just plain the quality of the top end cams out there today and the cost of the low end cameras, incredible. And I will go off on a little bit of a tangent here. Obviously, I don't talk about this type of stuff much, but I use Reconyx cameras. And I'm not going to try to, you use what you want. The reason I use Reconyx cameras are pretty darn simple. I view cameras into two different categories. There's disposable lighters and there's butane lighters. Both of them serve a purpose. The lower price cams, they are great if you just want to use them for a year, maybe two. Okay, but if you really want to invest in something that'll last, I've got 20-some-year-old Reconyx cameras that function every bit as good today as it did all the way back then. Okay, my only point is figure out what's important to you and then match your purchases accordingly. Next, man, are these cams, even the cheapest junk camera out there these days are so much better than what I grew up using. Okay, that's awesome. But always remember, these cameras are supposed to help, not hurt our hunting and our management efforts. Okay, way too many people go ahead and slap cameras in high impact locations and trash their place over and over and over going out to it. You wouldn't go ahead and take a stinky t-shirt and hang it on the base of your tree stand, would you? Not if you want to kill a mature deer out of that stand. Okay, could you if you did that? Yeah, you still could, but you're not going to do that. But yet we take cameras straight out of the containers or ones that we're storing in our garage and we throw them out up in the woods all the time. That's no different than our stinky t-shirts. Okay, so first, treat odors on your cameras. That is a huge, huge help. Next, I do not pretend to cut odors anywhere near the levels I do when I'm hunting. But when I'm placing cameras, I'm wearing rubber boots. They're sprayed down with scent killer. I'm wearing Huntworth gloves that are sprayed down with scent killer. I'm not touching these things with my bare hands hardly at all, if ever. Okay, I'm also storing them in scent totes in a spot that, well, heck, in scent totes, they're sealed containers. You can store them anywhere, but the point is store them in areas that aren't going to pick up odor. And then treat yourself for odors and think about where those cam placements are. I'm not going to place a standard camera back on Mr. Big's bedding area. I'm just plain not going to do that because that standard camera, I got to go back there and I got to swap that chip. And when I do that, I'm literally educating Mr. Big that I'm trying to tag him. Okay, so rather than do something like that, if I want to have a scouting camera back there, use a cell cam. Go out there, place it well before season, have yourself a solar panel on it so you don't have to worry about batteries, and just let that thing run. When it comes to regular cams, we want to target low impact locations. That means places that we can get to, swap the chips and get out of without those whitetails knowing we were ever there. Okay, really think about where you're going to place your camera. Yeah, I want intel off of that staging plot, for example. That's good and great, but I can go ahead and place that camera on that trail that goes from that staging plot to that destination food source. I can place it on the edge of that destination food source, and just like that, I can check it I know darn well that that deer coming down that trail probably went to that staging plot, didn't I? But I just cut my impact immensely. Really match the type of camera to the type of intel you want, and think about the amount of impact you make. That'll make a big difference for you.
Final thoughts, brought to you by Huntworth.
Scouting cameras these days are awesome. The catch is utilize them so they do you good, not harm. If you're going to go ahead and place cameras around bedding areas, make them cell cams with solar panels so you don't have to go back and keep checking them. When you're using standard cams, rather than place them in the higher impact locations, ask yourself, where can I place this in a low impact location that will give me the information I wanted from the high impact location? You do those things and it makes a difference.